videos, all the open educational resources, all the documents they develop, the students become part and parcel. So pedagogy is now innovative. And now I flip the script of the pedagogy. So I let the students first look at the problem at home. They prepare themselves. So when they come to my class online, I only discuss questions. I give my students questions. And so through that questioning, I increase the critical thinking skills of my students because I give them real world problems. And I also give them simulations. So now what is this innovative pedagogy? Number one, flip learning. You can see my students study on their own or in groups. And I ask my students, they must give them own groups. So I did not tell my students, you must belong to this group. They want to socialize, it's very important, and online presence is important. So when they come to my class, which is online through Microsoft Teams, and we use the platform Moodle. So on the Moodle platform, the students are now in the class, and they're sitting around South Africa. Some of them sitting internationally, some of them sitting in Australia, some of them sitting in China, which is registered with me. And they log into. Another thing of the flip learning or flip pedagogy is students can watch afterwards my videos. They can watch afterwards the things that I have covered in the. So there's no excuse for any students. And by the way, during COVID, my students know me that I'm on the platform. And so when the students respond in that session, when we are live, synchronous, then the students know that they can ask questions. But that is that. In the next session, next slide, I want to give you the 5-year. The 5-year, what research talks about what I have done from 2019 to 2025. So in this 6-year or 5-year period, I've done a lot of research on flip pedagogy. And you can read, you can Google me even now. If you're not Google, you can Google Professor Michael M. van Wyk from UNISA, and you will get all my articles there. And I have published more than 50 plus articles on flip pedagogy. And in my lifespan, I published more than 185 articles thus far. That is without my master's and doctoral students. So what are the striking results? First, it increased attendance and engagement in them. By the way, the students are graded when they log into my system. So the system then generates a percentage of attendance. So there's no excuse for a student. If a student is lower than 50%, the system will warn the student to say, you will fail this course because you did not attend enough these classes. You need to do extra classes. So the cutoff is 60% on the system, and you can program the system because it's machine learning, it's artificial intelligence, so there's no excuse for a student to say he cannot attend your live sessions. So live sessions is important. Is part of assessment, is part of my authentic assessment, is part of my So I'm seeing then technology as an enabler is not a distraction. By the way, technology cannot replace us. AI will not replace us as human beings. Why? Because we are doing different. If you look at the screen now, here is a very important book that I wrote, Prompt Literacy as Academic Currency. This is a very, very important book. This book is for every student, whether it's undergraduate, postgraduate, whether it's for every academic. If you cannot write good prompts, you cannot use effectively your generated AI tool, whether it's ChatGPT and so on and so on. And you can see all my research where I use AI technologies and I integrate it into flip pedagogy. You can see from undergraduate, postgraduate, the ChatGPT, the smart. By the way, this book, AI Smart Technologies, I received an award from Forbes Technology Council. My name was mentioned in the Forbes magazine under the Technology Council reviews. This book became the masterpiece now. And then the bigger picture for education. Pedagogy drives technology and not the way around. So it's not the technology, but the pedagogy is how you plan, how you do these things. So this will help freeing up your time. So what machines cannot do or what AI cannot do, he cannot mentor. By the way, I try it now for the last 4 or 5 years. He cannot mentor me. He can only create, all right? And remember, there's biasness. We inspire students like I inspire you. I moved from a plumber to a professor. He can write it because it's my prompt that I ask him. I can challenge you. Sometimes I can challenge you at a particular level, but not all the time. And by the way, I cannot humanize you. You can dehumanize your pedagogy if you over-reliance on AI. Yeah. And then here is a call for everyone, a call for courage. Youth unemployment will not be resolved by policy documents alone. It will only be resolved in classrooms that look different. You can see my classroom was the first at University of South Africa in the College of Education that I have moved away from PowerPoints and all the stuff. I have moved away of the normal examination, pen and paper. I've moved to e-portfolios, authentic assessment. It must sound differently and it must feel differently because you want to accommodate your students. It will be resolved when we flip not only our pedagogy, but our mindsets. So we need to flip that. It's very important. And then the future of work is already here because AI have now increased in the capacity. And if we not change our mind, so the future of politics must catch up. And the future of our youth cannot wait now. Let us flip the script together. And I want to thank everyone that listening to my presentation. It's a pity that I'm not there to meet with you face to face, but in this case. And I want to say congratulations to the Kenyan rugby sevens. I was in sevens, and unfortunately, Kenya could not beat Germany in the final. But Kenya, next time you will be with us, the Blitzbokke. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Prof, for that piece of information that you've given us on AI. I think it is something that is very current, and the audience are very time. 2 questions from the audience or comments, because we also have other programs that we need to run with. So very quick, if you may have 2 questions or maybe comments, maybe one from this other side and one from the other side. Just 2. Yes, give a mic.
My question to Professor. I believe initially you're using the traditional method where you are going to class and delivering your materials or resources. Now, when you flip the pedagogy or the approach, and the student or the trainee are expected to interact with the learning materials through videos and digital content, what are the challenges that you experience, and how can you advise us on how to tackle them?
Maybe you can take all the questions, then the Prof can answer them at once so that we can wind up the session.
First and foremost, congratulations, Prof, for very good presentation. Now looking at the geopolitical tension and advancement in technology, now as economist, what is your take on this that may enable us to have a stable economy, bearing in mind that nowadays the war can be fought from the comfort of your nation or from your room? Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe, Prof, you can take maybe.
Okay. The first question was on the challenges. The first major challenge that I observe of my students, first of all, my student was not used to flip. They did not understand flip clearly. So my students was thinking that I must do all of the teaching because they're coming out of a system that where they always are expected that the lecturer must do everything. That's the first one. The first one was the mindset of the students, to change the mindset of the students. Secondly, I have to inculcate a new learning style in my students. Very important, because their learning style is different. The third problem that I experienced, or the challenge, was some of the students was not using the data, or some of them did not have gadgets like a laptop or a smartphone, and they struggling with data. That was also major. So that is the three major things. And the other thing is the students did not see that why they must be in my class online. So I then reflect the next year and I address all those things. That's the answer. I hope I've answered it. The geopolitical things. Remember, Mr. Trump, when he came into office, he had introduced the Trump tariff systems. And Kenya was really impacted on that. Remember your currency, the Kenyan shilling was very hard hit. But I believe the Kenyans is very peace-loving people. That is what I can see. And I believe your president, when the president came here with his minister to the G20, it was such a beautiful scene that your president was meeting with my president, Cyril Ramaphosa. And I believe that helped us in Africa that we need to stand together as countries and reflect what we will do and not be bullied as my president. But I do waste mentality or capitalism.
Okay, Prof, maybe I cut you short because of time. We have another program that is going to take place immediately after this. But otherwise, we say thank you. Thank you for keeping us informed. Thank you for making us aware of the new technologies that can support our learning processes within TVET. And of course, within MICHUKI, we say thank you for taking your time to be with us this morning. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Have a blessed day, Prof. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's give up a round of applause for Prof.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Frederick. Let us appreciate Dr. for a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move into another session of a plenary session. We have quite a number of panelists. I'll be introducing them one by one, and I'll call them to the stage kindly. The first one I'm going to call right now is Mr. Joseph Karue Mwai. Mr. Joseph Karue Mwai, the Center Manager, Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, FCRC, Embu. Where is Mr. Joseph Karue Mwai? Mr. Joseph Karue Mwai, let us appreciate him. Karibu sana. You may take your seat here. Karibu. The next lady, ladies and gentlemen, is Mrs. Rosemary Nyamu. Mrs. Rosemary Nyamu. Thank you very much. She's the Director, Kenya School of Agriculture, Nyeri. Let us appreciate her. Mrs. Rosemary Nyamu. Karibu sana, mami. All right, she wants to make a clarification.
Good morning once again. Yes, I'm Esther Karithi, of course, from Kenya School of Agriculture. I'm standing in for the Director, Madam Rosemary Nyamu. Thank you.
All right, Madam Esther Karithi, karibu sana. We appreciate your presence. We also have Mrs. Florence Rukenya. Mrs. Florence Rukenya. Miss Florence Rukenya. Miss Florence Rukenya, ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate her. The Talent Management Officer, True Foods. Karibu, Miss Florence Rukenya. We appreciate your presence. Karibu sana. I'm guided, Mr. Opondo, kindly let me know if Dr. Peter Karanja, the CEO, Agritech Seedling Limited, is here. All right. Is Mr. Dr. Karanja here with us right now? All right, he's going to join us later. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the chair of this particular session one more time, speaking on leveraging agri-tech and TVET for sustainable rural transformation, Dr. Frederick Agengo. One more time, let us appreciate him. Agengo, you are doing a wonderful job. Karibu sana.
Good morning once again. Principal and all other protocols observed. This very morning, we want to have a panel discussion with a team from a number of organizations, looking at the panel discussion topic on leveraging agri-tech in TVET for sustainable rural transformation. On my far right is Mr. Joseph Mwai, followed by Madam Esther Karithi and Florence Rukenya. Maybe I'll first of all start by giving the panel room to talk to you and also to just tell us their understanding about how agri-tech is going to change the future or is changing the future, because the future is here with us. And also to tell us the role of agri-tech in supporting the TVET activities. Maybe in 1 minute, my panelists, most welcome. In 1 minute, tell us how agri-tech is changing the future, or is, how agri-tech is changing the current happenings, as well as what agri-tech can do to improve the TVET sector. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Agri-tech, I would say, is the way to go in as far as economic empowerment of the rural livelihoods is concerned. You know, before then, many people have shunned, the rural environment. It's been seen as a place of, poverty and a lot of problems. But now with agri-tech, it transforms the rural environment, the rural livelihoods, as a hub of economic empowerment, because now there is increased productivity, efficiency, and that means pesa mfukoni, And that, in a sense, will reduce the rural-urban migration. So I will say that is the way to go. And of course, the TVET institutions then have a key role in imparting the relevant technological skills to the youth. Thank you.
Once again, good morning. Agri-tech, we really can't run away from technology. We can't run away from technology, it's here with us. And so what we need to ask ourselves is, what are we doing as a people, at an individual level, as institutions? What are we doing to make sure that we are bringing change, that the technologies are making impact through us? Because I'm looking at a young person, I'm looking at the farmer, I'm looking at everyone back at home and wondering, are we really helping them with the technologies that we have, the technologies that are emerging, or we are forcing everyone to the to the urban areas, because there is really nothing much in the rural areas. So let's think around that, and let's ask ourselves, are we gonna make the rural areas an area where we would all want to run to and there's not even enough space, or are we still going to be migrating to the urban areas in search for better opportunities? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say I'm privileged to work in a research organization as a research scientist, whereby we work one-on-one when it comes to matters pertaining agri-tech. We are the people releasing, we are the people releasing all the new technologies, one-on-one, releasing new seed varieties. Not forgetting, we are suffering from what we call climate change. We can't run from that. May it be drought, floods, limited land because of the maybe land rights, and so many things when it comes to research and releasing new technologies. when it comes to maybe seeds, when it comes to maybe new farming technologies, when it comes to maybe personnel and even professionals, we must work with or towards agri-tech. Why are we doing this? 1, economic growth. 2, good yields. As a farmer, are you just doing agriculture just for the practice, or you are doing it to improve your status even in the community? 3, where are we heading to when it comes to matters pertaining innovation? It's a thing that we work at a partnership. Maybe we are privileged to have maybe the School of Agriculture here in Nyeri, Karo, one being a parastatal at agriculture. We have KFIS. All these work hand in hand to improve agri-tech. And where does TVET comes in? 1, by training our attaches, training the staff. We come up with short courses whereby we train our trainers at the agriculture department, whereby they will be the peers out there together with the researchers to give out this outreach. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that was our ice-breaking question. The panel has been able to highlight to us what agri-tech is all about and where the TVET normally comes in. Now, let's now get into the discussion. I'll start with you, Joseph. How can agri-tech basically improve the access to quality seeds? Because we are from the seed sector. How can this one be able to improve accessibility to quality seeds, especially from the smallholder farmers, and issues to do with ensuring that these farmers can be able to be informed about the seed quality, maybe from the TVET as a key player? Yes.
Thank you. To start with, we must know what is the difference between a seed and a grain. It has been a challenge to many of us to know what is the difference between a seed and a grain. 1, the seed certification process. How do you come up with certified seeds? Not forgetting, there are very many fake seeds out here. You can bear me witness, most of us are farmers. You plant maize and it does not grow. Where do you get your seeds from? You have to start from there, and we have to take that mistake that we do. Where do you get your seeds from? We have a lot of companies that are producing good seeds. What is a seed? A seed is something that you plant to get what? Yields. And when it comes to grains, you consume it. So to start with that, there is what we call seed certification process. How do you come up with this? There is what we call seed multiplication, whereby you have the basic seeds and then you multiply, where you replant to give you more seeds. And then we have what we call breeding stages, where you plant. There is a time I was doing some training somewhere and I said that there is male maize and there is female maize. And everybody was looking at me, oh, what are you talking about? Yeah? These are the ways that we come up with certified seeds. So under this, how do we help farmers, especially the small-scale farmers, to get quality seeds? And how do you check for quality seeds? Because there is a lot of fake seeds that has flooded in our market. In the agrovets, people buy seeds from the back of a Pro Box. You buy it from Wajiko Agrovets Limited with no certification process. Yeah, you have to ask for these certificates. Ask for them. Ask for KFIS certifications. Are you certified as a seed merchant? Or you walk in Karo, we are doing a lot of seeds where we have subsidized prices. Like, let me take an example of maize. We are buying a packet of maize at 1,000, let's say, but in Karo we are selling one at 600 shillings. Why should you go somewhere else, get fake seeds at 1,000 shillings? Yeah, and then when it comes to small-scale farmers, bearing in mind, Watu wa Murima, I come from Mount Kenya, Watu wa Murima, the population is very high and the land is very scarce. How do we help these farmers to plant quality seeds to get high yields? Bearing in mind there is quality, what we call climate change. You plant seeds that are drought tolerant, with high or maximum output. An example, there is what we call NAV CDP. Most of us have heard about the NAV CDP, whereby we are working hand in hand with that program and the counties to pass these quality seeds or the quality information to the small-scale farmers. And where does the vet comes in? Now this is where we partner with the agricultural department and not forgetting training them on ways to pass this or to do outreach of the quality seeds. How do we do that? One, by doing roadside demos, demonstration plots. We also do exhibitions. We partner with them in ASK shows, our open week and field days. I believe we have been part and parcel with the TVETs, and we have worked in a good partnership. Thank you.
Maybe an insight from whatever you've, the information that you've given to us. Apart from just asking the merchandise whether they have a certificate or not, do we have a digital tool that can be used to identify that these are quality seeds that farmers are able to use? And apart from just the partnership in terms of the demos within the ASK shows, do we have specific hands-on skills that can be taught to the TVET trainees so that they can be able to help the communities identify what we call the quality seeds?
Thank you. Let me say that after that, sorry, can I get your question? I've been distracted.
The question is, do you have a digital tool that the farmers can be able to use to identify quality seeds? And two, do we have specific hands-on skills that could be trained that could be given to the TVET trainees so that they can be able to help those in the communities to know that these are quality seeds?
Okay, let me start with the first question when it comes to the digital tool. In fact, knowing the difference between a quality seed and a fake seed, it's very simple. I wish I came with a packet. Whoever has ever bought, or if you have been at the privilege of buying seed from the agrovet, there is a sticker or what you call KFIS label, whereby you scratch just like an airtime. You scratch, and then it will give you some numbers there, and then it tells you set this number to this number. After that, it will give you who is the seed merchant. No, who is the seed? Yes, seed merchant. Is it Caro Seeds? When was it released? When was it planted? Which season? And from that, you are going to know the viability of that seed. Not forgetting that the more the seed stays in the store, the viability declines. And also at the Caro, we have what we call Caro Digital Platform. What does it help? Under that digital platform, it will give you a list of all our seeds at what we call, there's our department called Caro Seeds, yeah? We have all our seeds and seedlings that we sell. If you do not meet, maybe take an example, if you don't meet Nyota beans in our platform, that means that is not our seed, that is fake seeds. It's not from Caro. Going to the second one, at the TVET, are we doing what we call trainings to the agriculture trainers and trainees? Yes. How do we do it? For the trainees, we have what we call attachment programs, where we bring them on board and they are attached in all seed certification processes, starting from the feed, certification through KFIS, registration of that seeds, and even releasing it. And when it comes to the other agricultural expertise, we give them short courses and what we call on-station or on-center trainings, whereby they come, we train them, maybe in a day or two or in a week's time, and after that training, we give them certificates. That is how we support them.
Okay, thank you for that. Moving on, Esther, you're from a training institution. You're dealing in the agriculture sector. Maybe from your perspective, how best can mid-level colleges or what we call the TVETs embed the agri-tech practices within the training program?
Okay, thank you so much. for this opportunity. Now, I think I need to say this, that for a very long time, we've majored on the theory bit of training and forgotten about the practical bit. And we always say we want our students to be, or our graduates, once they get out of the school, to be competent out there. But how are they going to be competent if we are just focused on giving them notes and lots of lectures and very little hands-on skills? So it's a challenge to us all, trainers and those in the training institutions, to always think of the best and the most practical ways in which we can engage our students, and not just the theory bit, or reduce the theory at least, even if it's 20%, and then lots of practical. And about incorporating agri-tech, we could also incorporate agri-tech in our units. And when I talk about incorporating it, like it comes as a package. If I'm training crop production, there are definitely technologies in crop production that I can incorporate in my training, and my students or the end product will be in a position to utilize some of these technologies. And I know you know them, like precision agriculture, the use of drones, and so many other technologies in agriculture. Someone who is training agribusiness, we could talk about the marketing apps, digital platforms, and maybe just talking about marketing. I know mostly as trainers, especially crops and agriculture, mostly what we do is we train our graduates on how to produce, the agronomy bit. And then once they've produced the particular crop that they have, what happens? Currently, we have people getting stuck with their produce. There's a market glut ya maembe, sindio? Yeah? So there's a starting point and an ending point. A starting point in agriculture is start from the market, end with the market. But a starting point in the TVET, I would say, start with the industry, end with the industry. What does the industry really want? Yeah? What technologies are out there? What do we have for our students? Some of us have the yellow notes, sorry to say. The other bit is field exposure, especially in technology-driven farms. Do we have farms that are using technologies? Of course, there are quite a number. Do we take our students to those farms at least to see what we are doing, what the farms are doing, and how they are incorporating the technologies, and how our students can get hands-on skills on utilization of those technologies? Sometimes we are just confined in the lecture halls and then in the demonstration farms, and unfortunately, most of the institutions are not well resourced, or they are not well funded, so they even lack some of the key resources that could enable the students. But then that's not the end. We can always have our students go for exposure visits in farms that we know they'll get to understand these technologies, and that's where they're going to work anyway after they've graduated. So it's very important for us to think about it. Then the other bit is incorporating basic digital skills. Some time back, one could actually get a certificate on computer skills. See, some of us went to school to summer computer, like I'm literally going for 3 months, 6 months to learn computer. But these are skills, these are actually just basic skills like cooking, washing, yeah? So basic digital literacy is very important, and it doesn't just end with the graduate or with the student being able to operate a computer and all that, but it should actually be a point of motivating our students to even be able to develop apps that can help the communities around, or that can be solving a real life problem. Yeah? Then the other bit is, this actually I was just thinking widely. Have we had agri-tech competitions? Have we had have we brought up institutions, various institutions, and the students are just showcasing different innovations in the agriculture sector and real life technologies. You know, sometimes we look at the Gen Zs and we think, watu ni sumbua tu. But let me tell you, their brains, they have great minds. If only we leverage on their potential, you'd see lots and lots of stuff. I've sat down with a few of my students and I can tell you, if these people were empowered, especially in this digital era, you'd be shocked what they would come up with. The other day, there's someone who came up with an app that could actually translate words, signs to words or words to signs. Yeah, that can be used by the deaf. So let's utilize the brains that our students have so that they can be able to actually grow and support not only the communities but the country, and who knows, global. It's a global village. Thank you.
Maybe just in just one sentence, what do you think are the challenges that most of our TVET are facing in terms of meeting the expectations of the evolving agri-tech within the innovation platform?
Okay, one, I think it's resources. We are quite down on that, especially when I look at the agriculture sector and the funding that goes into that. Then the other bit is the curriculum. Yeah, the curriculum, if I look at the diploma or the certificate curriculum, it's actually quite confined. You'd realize that most of the things that you're supposed to train, some of them are outdated. So as a trainer, I have to be very intentional on what I train my students. I have to keep checking what's new, what's in the market, and so I can incorporate that in my own intentionality and being purposeful about it. So the curriculum, that's one key area that I think we need to look at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll now come to you, Ms. Rukenya. You're working within the food sector, food industry. I don't know, from your own perspective, how best is agri-tech reshaping the workforce, especially across the food value chain?
Okay, thank you. Agri-tech in reshaping the workforce in food value, agri-food value chains. Now, with agri-tech, it means that now it is not business as usual. It means that when it comes to workforce, we require high-skilled labor. It requires departure from the traditional way of doing things, traditional farming methods, traditional food production, food processing, and distribution methods. It now calls for somebody or a workforce that is able to use technology in production, in processing, and also in distribution. So we have a shift from use of low-skilled labor, labor that can only maybe do the planting, the weeding, and all that. There is a shift, or there has to be a shift, from low-skilled labor to use of high-skilled labor. That means we have emergence of new job opportunities in agri-tech. That means we need drone operators, we need people who can design smart agri-tech programs. We need data analysts who can be able to analyze the data in terms of the amount of production yield we expect, in terms of the supply chain trends.